Well, this is the old fuel pump feed hose, and as we can see, looks pretty normal. But as soon as you bend it a little bit, it opens up with cracks. Nasty. Pretty sad. Well, I figure the fuel filter can go somewhere there, because there's not actually that much room between the end of that pipe and the fuel pump. So just have it curl the hoses around. I figure if I put rubber insulator on that and just zip tie the filter like that, that should be fine. There's plenty of flex on the hoses, so it gives movement for the engine. So, yeah, I'll fiddle with it, but I got the hoses so it sits like that without actually rubbing on anything. But when the engine's running, it'll just be wobbling around. So I've got to secure it somehow. Well, let's hope this doesn't finish off the heated core, but let's give it a flush. Probably leak after this. That should make it a bit happier. Don't want to go too nuts on it, otherwise it definitely will leak. It's probably original. I figure I'll flush it a little more. Go a little nuts on it, because if it's going to leak, I want it to leak now, I guess, instead of later. So this is reverse flushing it now. And that's forward flush. You can tell which side all the shit's built up on. Just let it empty out. Do it again. Let it empty out. And do it again. That's pretty good now. Probably as good as it's going to get. Let's give it one or two more hits and that's it. Yeah, it's pretty good. Seems to be a chunk of shit coming out. What's that? Probably have to pull it out with the pliers. Yeah, what is that? Oh, interesting. Chunk of rust. They're the ports on the engine for the heater hoses. You can see they're a little bit flagged up. Have to give them a good stabbing out with a screwdriver and a flush. Well, I cleaned out those holes. There's much better water flow through them now. I've flushed out the block. So now I've just got to put it all together. And then fiddle with the carby. So, and put oil and filter on it, of course. But yeah, there's all the new hoses for the heater, new heater tap, new clamps, everything. Well, they drained the oil, which looks absolutely nasty. But this just shows how good the last mechanic was. They couldn't even be bothered changing the sump plug washer, which is truly rooted. There's a new one that fits the sump plug nicely. And they had that on there and just covered it all in silicone and put it back in. So couldn't they just put a washer on there? Oh well. Well, I pulled the auto cooler out so I could put new hoses on it, because you couldn't really get to the hose fittings with it down there. So it's got new hose, I'll just feed that back down. I cleaned the condenser because it was just full of bugs. I also cleaned this because it was full of bugs and straightened it. Got the new radiator, which is 3-core. So, nice. Secured the fuel filter. So I put rubber on the tube and then zip tied it on for now. I was thinking of using a hose clamp, but 2 zip ties should suffice. But yeah, it's getting there. It's got the new water pump on it. Just got to put belts on it. Put the hoses on. Bleed it all, then put this top hose on. The other one's there. Thermostat and the bypass hose, which I've got now. Then pull the top off the carby and clean that. Adjust the points. Wash out the expansion tank. Yeah, slowly getting there. I'm doing all the vacuum hoses too. I did the one to the distributor, and I also did, I'm going to do the ones to the carbon canister because they were stuffed. So, yeah. Well, that's the trans cooler all plumbed up. So, if it all works the way I want it to, the fluid goes into the front cooler first, then comes into the radiator, and comes out of the radiator and back to the transmission. So, excellent.